Okay, those who cite the First Amendment as a reason for excluding God from more and more of our institutions and everyday life, may I just say, okay, the problem here is that nobody is trying to exclude God from more and more, or from any institutions. What they're trying to say, all the non-right people are trying to say, is that people employed in the institutions should not, or well, especially the employees should never be trying to push God in within any of the institutions, and that goes for students also. Prayer is fine, as long as they keep it to themselves. That's all they're saying. Otherwise, they're violating the Constitution. Because would I really have to point that out to you? I hope not. The question is, why do you want God in the institutions and everyday life? Why do you want that? Why do you want God everywhere? The First Amendment of the... Actually, the First Amendment of the Constitution was not written to protect the people of this country from religious values. See, that right there. Mr. Reagan here just shot himself in the foot when he said that. Protect from religious values? Think about that. Now, what do you regard as religious values anyway? And how are those values of yours good? It was written to protect religious values from government tyranny. Okay, what tyranny are you... Well, what tyranny is he referring to, and what tyranny do you agree with him he is accusing the government of? The government itself is religious. Joe Biden is. He's a Catholic, apparently, right? There aren't very many atheists in the government, in politics in general, are there? So what are you even talking about? Why would they tyrannize themselves? That doesn't make any sense. But my question is, why do you agree with Christianity? Why do you want God to exist and Christianity to be the truth? Now, why do I disagree with it? Well, why do I, quote, rebel against God? Well, it's not God that I'm rebelling against because I don't believe this being exists. If I'm rebelling against anybody, I'm rebelling against you guys because you're the ones trying to push it everywhere. As you ignorantly throw this one at me. Now, Ronald Reagan himself, just to point this out real quick, he's responsible for the war on drugs, which has caused many fucking deaths. And for what? Suppressing economic demand? Instead of actually looking at it, well, it's all about money. But anyway, I don't want Christianity to be the truth or God to exist because I don't agree with the idea of a forever penalty because I've offended some being who's supposed to be omnipotent, which does not hurt anybody, does not affect anybody. And I don't agree with the idea that people are born with original sin just because two people disobeyed God, which I believe was a setup, and you guys would never agree with that. Because God is the one who created that stupid fucking tree and put it within their environment. Of course he set them up. That's what he needed to do that so he could put... He intended to cause a sin. That's his whole game. He wants obedience. That's what Jesus Christ was for. He was there to convince people that they need forgiveness and to provide the pathway into heaven. That's the whole idea. If Jesus didn't exist, or Adam and Eve, then God wouldn't have a scapegoat or a pathway. That's sick. Why do you agree with that? Obviously you're sick. Because nobody in their right mind would even want this shit to be true. agree with it, let alone want it to be true. I don't agree with the idea that we are to deny ourselves, not that you guys ever do, and live by God's will and way, which can't be the right way if God needs hell to punish people, and which is not a natural consequence. And what I mean by that is, you hit yourself with something, even accidentally, you suffer pain, right? That's automatic. You aren't judged. You aren't cast with that pain. You don't hit the hammer and then some guys, oh, well, yeah, you hit yourself, you're going to suffer pain. It's not automatic. It's not on its own, not natural. See what I mean? And just for Jesus Christ's sacrifice, you would never agree with this, but as many other atheists have pointed out for how who knows how many years, Jesus didn't really sacrifice anything because he died for 2 days and then came back. He resurrected. How is that a sacrifice? But aside from that, I don't agree with the idea of paying for other people's problems or paying the price for it. That's irresponsible and it doesn't solve problems. Christianity isn't about solving problems, though it is the problem. So I'll leave it at that.